Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to another video, and today we are here for another weather breakdown. Now this is once again going to be all about our winter storm that's going to be coming into the country very soon and has already swept across a decent portion of the country. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to start off with the forecast model here with the GFS. We're going to see what it does with this snowstorm, okay? So as of right now, you may be getting some snow in Texas, the panhandle of Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, all the four corner states basically, some in Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota. But if we go ahead and play this radar loop out into noon today, we can really start to see that snow core develop more and more into Kansas and even some ice accumulation in the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma here. We go into tomorrow at noon here, okay? We're going to be waking up to a lot of snow here in the Midwest, right? This is going to move to the east pretty quickly, okay? After it's done producing snow and ice in Oklahoma, it's going to move off to the east here. Like I said, noon tomorrow, a lot of snow across the Great Lake region. Potentially start to see some of that lake effect snow as well. We play this radar loop out to 6 a.m. here on Monday. We can see that event start to enter the northeast, potentially bring some small ice accumulation to that area. So look out for that. But yeah, that's what that snow system's likely going to do. And then after that, we could get a lot of lake effect snow here in the Great Lakes region. Next up, we're going to take a look at how much snowfall you could actually get with this. This is just going to be up until 9 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, so compare that to whatever your local time is. This is how much snow could fall between now and then. Not necessarily how much you'll have on the ground, but this is how much could fall, if that makes sense. We're going to start off here with Montana, where extreme southeast portions of the state could get a dusting of snow, but overall not much at all. Wyoming, the northeastern portion of the state could get a dusting around the Newcastle area, and then a small dusting possible east of Cheyenne here in Wyoming, but once again, not much at all. Colorado, northeast Colorado could get a dusting upwards of an inch of snow around Fleming, Ray, Holyoke. There's a 1.3 inch reading northwest of Kirk, and then here for southern Colorado and central Colorado here, like Colorado Springs, even all the way up to Denver, we could be looking at a dusting of snow. But once you get into like the Trinidad area, you could get a few inches of snow for sure, okay? We get into New Mexico here. There are several areas, specifically one around the Albuquerque area, that are going to see multiple inches of snow likely, especially here in the mountains, okay? If you're in the mountains, obviously, you're going to be in for a good, potentially even upwards of half a foot of snow, so definitely look out for that. And then you get into northeast portions of the state where, once again, similar situation, but not as extreme. A few inches of snow possible around the Tucumcari region, okay? So definitely look out for that. Arizona, northeast portions of the state and east central portions of the state could get a dusting of snow upwards of half an inch. And then in Utah, southeast portions of the state around Moab could get a dusting upwards of half an inch, maybe just a quarter of an inch. Okay, next up we've got Nebraska here, where southwestern portions of the state could get a decent amount of snow, maybe a dusting upwards of half an inch. And then southeastern portions of the state could actually get several inches of snow here. There's a 3.3 inch reading near Nebraska City, so definitely look out for that. 3.1 inch reading near Pawnee City, 3.4 inch reading near Humboldt, okay? So definitely look out for that. Central portions of the state likely not going to see anything, but all around the border of Nebraska, you're likely going to see something unless you're in northwest Nebraska, okay? South Dakota here, western portions of the state could get, just splatters of snow around the Spearfish area. North Dakota, eastern portions of the state will consistently be getting those half-inch readings here, okay? So definitely look out for that, potentially a little higher in some areas. And then there is an area in northwest and north-central North Dakota around Minot that could get some snow as well, okay? And then now we are going to go ahead and move on to Kansas here. Kansas is by far going to be the state with the most snow over the next 23 hours or so, okay? So we can see that in a specific central portion of the state here, just northeast of Hutchinson, around Heston, Halstead, Gosel, it's Halstead, not Halstead. But some of these areas could honestly be pushing that, 9 to 10 inches of snow area, okay? Unfortunately, we can't get a very good reading, but there are several readings over half a foot in this region. 7 inches, yeah, I'd like to get one of those readings that is actually really accurate, but we can only get those small ones that pop up out of nowhere. So sorry about that. But just expect a lot of snow there in Newton, basically, is what I'm saying, okay? And the rest of Kansas is likely in for it too, okay? Unless you're in southwest Kansas, you're likely going to get at least a few inches of snow, honestly. Topeka, okay, you're going to be in for a few inches of snow for sure, several 4-inch readings just outside of the city limits. And then northwest Kansas, even around Colby, could get an inch of snow or so. So look out for that for sure. We get into Oklahoma here. Oklahoma's actually going to get a decent amount of snow, and not just in the Panhandle, okay? This stretches all the way out to Oklahoma City and Tulsa, but just east of the Panhandles where it's going to be the heaviest here around Alva, we could get an inch or two of snow, so definitely look out for that. Maybe a little bit more if you're right along the Oklahoma-Kansas border. Texas here, the Panhandle of Texas could be in for a dusting of snow around the Amarillo area, but then potentially a few inches of snow around the Wheeler area, so look out for that. Even Missouri's going to get a decent amount of snow in eastern Missouri around Vandalia, Mexico, Bowling Green, Montgomery City, okay? A couple inches of snow, so look out for that. But even like central Missouri around Jefferson City could be in for an inch of snow or more, so definitely look out for that as well. Then we've got Iowa, where basically the entire state's going to be in for a dusting, unless you're in southern Iowa, where you could get a couple inches of snow or more. 2.5-inch reading there just south of Burlington, so look out for that. Minnesota here, southeast portions of the state could get a dusting of snow upwards of an inch the more southeast you get there. 1.3-inch reading just west of La Crosse. And then northwestern Minnesota as well could get an inch of snow or two. And then if you're around like the Deer River, Grand Rapids area, potentially a little bit more than that. Okay, next up we're going to do Wisconsin here. Wisconsin, basically the entire state's just going to be in for like an even dusting. There's no bursts of snow, but there's also no areas that are not going to see any snow at all, pretty much, okay? So look out just in general in Wisconsin, some icy roads, some not super heavy snow, but a little bit. Illinois, okay, there is an area just south of Springfield that could actually see several inches of snow here around Litchfield, Zanesville, Raymond. Definitely upwards of 3 or 4, maybe even 5 or 6 inches of snow possible in that area, okay, so look out for that. But other than that, most of the state's just going to be in for a dusting, and then, except for southern Illinois, like around Carbondale, not likely to see anything. Indiana, southwest portions of the state could see a little bit of snow around Vincennes, Princeton, and Terre Haute, and then central Indiana could get a little bit of snow around Kokomo, and then Royal Center, North Judson, that area, and then northeast Indiana could get a little bit of snow as well around Topeka and LaGrange. And then finally, we've got Michigan here, where northwest portions of the state, and really just western portions of the state in general, are going to be in for at least a dusting of snow, upwards of an inch or more here if you're right along the west coast line. And then also the UP could get a dusting of snow, but it will not be much at all. Finally, watches, warnings, and advisories. We now have winter weather advisories in the light purple color that stretch all the way from Arizona back into Illinois. Okay, that's a large area of winter weather advisories. Winter storm warnings, a pretty large area as well, extending all the way from Utah back out to Kansas here, almost to Kansas City. So definitely look out for that, okay? It's looking like this area is going to see a lot of snow over the next 24 hours, especially those counties highlighted in the pink, so look out for that. And then we do have some freeze warnings kind of scattered across the western U.S., even a hard freeze warning in Los Angeles, so definitely look out for that. That's going to be it for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Sorry my voice got a little rough towards the end, but overall I feel like it was a pretty good video. So, yeah, see y'all in the next one. Peace.